We're recording now. So, hey, Mr. Kelly. So we came out here today. I was going to swap out this shingle for you. We brought another one up here. This one where that yellow circle's just got a real heavy hit on it. I just want to make sure it doesn't cause any leaks while we're working through this with insurance. Also, while doing this, we're going to kind of test this shingle out as well. So basically, just kind of do these repairs back here. They were saying to replace 240 shingles, I believe, on your back, front and left of the house. So this will kind of show you what they're asking us to do 240 individual times, is identify these hail strikes. And all right, so just kind of right there off the bat, whenever I'm using my flat bar here, I am keeping it flush to the decking to unseal the shingle. And we just had a tear right here. So just for the file, I'll document any little condition changes that happen while I'm trying to remove the shingle for you. This can kind of, these would be, issues that we come across as we replace the roof and everything. So we just document everything we're doing up here. So let's go ahead and finish getting this thing unsealed. Whenever I'm coming under these shingles and unsealing them too, I come under the applique, which is the thicker part of the shingles, so things like that don't happen, or try not to. But sometimes these shingles get a little brittle, different things like that. So we got that shingle unsealed. Now I have to unseal these ones around it, and this is what has to be done for all 240 shingles that they're saying to replace. Once again, trying to keep this flat bar flat to the surface. When we're up here, it's hot and trying to move fast as well. So some of the sealant is pretty strong, which is good. Keep your shingles from blowing off. Alright, so I got all my shingles unsealed now. So now it's time to take out our fasteners. I'm going to come up under the shingle here. I lift these at the applique where it's a little bit thicker as well. Basically all I'm doing now is just removing these fasteners and stuff just to get this shingle out. Those fasteners out, we're gonna go up. And so when you're basically removing fasteners and having to lift the second course row up, it's tighter because these aren't unsealed. So sometimes it can cause these shingles to crack, or it just makes it a little bit harder to work around the second course row. I'm seeing a good bit of mat transfer under here, which I'll take some photos of, just kind of explain to you. So when I'm unsealing these shingles, the sealant and the bond is so strong between the two shingles that basically it's tearing the shingles apart and creating damage and weakening their integrity. So, once I get all these fasteners out, I'll take some photos just so I can show you when I get done with this. Pull throughs, if you heard me say that, is basically when the nail comes through the shingle, the head of it pulls through the shingle. So basically it's just in there so snug, not overdriven, but basically the shingle just kind of went over it, which makes these repairs a little bit more complicated as well. So just kind of show you, sir, just what we were talking about here with that mat transfer. So this piece right here is actually a piece of this shingle below it from where I unsealed it. That basically is now showing a fiberglass mat, and it's basically weakened the shingle. So yes, I'm replacing this one, but now it's negatively impacted this shingle here. Yeah, we've got mat transfer under these other shingles, which means that got some here, here. Let me get a picture of this for you. So technically, we're just doing a quick repair for you today for this shingle that literally has a hole in it from the hail. It is basically just creating other issues. And I mean, we've now got mat transfer all over here. Real quick, while I'm up here, I always like to verify what kind of, you got felt paper under here, which, you know, we're going to recommend putting a synthetic under here. It's better for your roof when we replace it, or whatever we end up doing. All right, so get a couple more pictures here. Mat transfer on second course rail. Mat transfer on second course rail. I'm just putting some little voice notes on here for you when I put on this little bit of info. More mat transfer from unsealing the shingles. Yeah. Alright, so we're just going to throw this other shingle in here that we brought today with us. Just because that shingle was so damaged here on the back slope, just to refer from where we're at. Alright, so we've got a small little hiccup here. I'm not sure, I thought we maybe had a match for this shingle. I knew the color was a little bit different, but it looks as though this shingle is a different size. I brought a GAF HDZ shingle out here that is the standard metric size at 39 3/8 inch. This one seems to be longer, so I have to do a little reverse here. Yeah, so you can see your current shingles are a little bit longer. There are a couple of manufacturers out there that still make shingles that are bigger than the metric. So we may have to do a little bit more research to figure out exactly what shingles these are. Measurements of the shingles, black so you can tell the differences, just so I can try to go back and try to help identify this. So that's measuring the reveal, the length, and the height. So Mr. Kelly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pivot a little bit and I'm going to put the shingle back in. But what we're going to do is we're going to just take some sealant and just seal this up for you real well. I had just been worried about with this being such a heavy hit, but yeah, just being that this is too short, I'm going to put this one back in. But you know, we've already kind of seen a couple of complications here and condition changes where the shingles basically were creating mat transfer, which is damaging the shingles around it when you're doing these repairs. So like I said, I'm going to put the shingle back in and get everything tightened up, and then we'll put some sealant on here for you, just kind of make sure this is waterproof for you. So Give me just a second. Throw these back in. Just keep rolling. When I'm lifting these shingles, just give you a heads up, I have to basically, by manufacturer specifications, we have to install the fasteners flush to the decking. So I try to lift it as little as possible, but you know, you have to have room to swing. If you even notice right there, I hit that shingle just a tiny little bit, so you got a small chip. These are just things that are human error that happen when you're doing repairs that, you know, just need to be taken into account. That thunder letting us know we don't have a whole lot of time left. I just got a couple more fasteners, so we're going to go ahead and wrap this up, Mr. Kelly. We appreciate your time, and we'll get back to you with getting this, you know, tightened up and follow up with you about your insurance. Have a good day.